I stopped waiting for things to change and started creating my own change. I realized that the power I had all along was in my hands, and I could mold my reality in ways I never thought possible. I stopped pretending to be someone I wasn't. The moment I let go of the need for approval, I found peace within myself. And that was when true transformation began. I stopped holding on to what no longer served me. As I let go of the past, I made room for new beginnings, and the future became something I was excited to walk into. I stopped chasing validation. For the first time, I discovered the joy of just being me, unapologetically and fully present in every moment. I stopped believing that life had to be a struggle. When I embraced ease and grace, I realized how effortlessly life could flow when I allowed it to unfold naturally. I stopped expecting others to change for me. I understood that true happiness comes from accepting people for who they are, not for who I wish them to be. I stopped doubting my worth. As I looked inward and remembered my own value, I saw my life shift into a space of abundance, love, and infinite possibilities. I stopped hiding my light. I used to dim myself to make others feel comfortable, but now I shine brightly, knowing that my true self is worth celebrating. I stopped comparing myself to others. I realized that my journey is unique, and by focusing on my own path, I found strength and clarity that I never had before. I stopped waiting for permission to live my dreams. I gave myself the freedom to take bold steps toward what truly excites and fulfills me. I stopped allowing fear to control me. The more I faced my fears, the more I realized that they were simply stepping stones to my growth and success. I stopped suppressing my emotions. By embracing vulnerability, I found healing, understanding, and deeper connections with others. I stopped looking for happiness in external things. I discovered that true happiness comes from within, and it begins with loving myself. I stopped blaming others for my unhappiness. I took full responsibility for my own life and found the power to create my own happiness and fulfillment. I stopped letting negativity drain my energy. Now, I protect my peace by surrounding myself with positivity and the people who uplift me. I stopped believing in limitations. I learned that I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to, and my dreams are just as valid as anyone else's. I stopped waiting for the perfect moment. I realized that the only perfect moment is the one I'm in right now, and I took action to make the most of it. I stopped holding grudges. The weight of resentment held me back. But the moment I forgave, I felt a freedom I hadn't known in years. I stopped rushing through life. I started appreciating the beauty in the present moment, realizing that the journey is just as important as the destination. I stopped seeking approval from others. I learned that my value doesn't depend on others' opinions, and that's when I truly began to live authentically. I stopped fearing the unknown. I embraced uncertainty, knowing that life's greatest gifts often come when we step into the unfamiliar with trust and faith. I stopped being afraid of change. I realized that change is the only constant in life, and instead of fearing it, I welcomed it as an opportunity to grow. I stopped pretending to be okay when I wasn't. Embracing my vulnerability allowed me to heal and gave me the strength to rise again. I stopped holding on to toxic relationships. I let go of the people who drained me, and in doing so, I made space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. I stopped worrying about the future. I realized that the only thing I have control over is the present moment, and I chose to make it meaningful. I stopped seeking perfection. I accepted my flaws and saw them as part of my unique beauty, and in that acceptance, I found peace. I stopped rushing to find answers. I learned that sometimes the answers come when we allow ourselves to sit in silence and listen to our inner wisdom. I stopped listening to the voices of doubt. Instead, I started tuning into my inner voice of confidence, strength, and belief in my potential. I stopped thinking I had had to do everything alone. I allowed myself to ask for help, and through the support of others, I found the strength to keep going. I stopped fearing rejection. I realized that rejection is not a reflection of my worth, but an opportunity to learn and grow. I stopped ignoring my intuition. I started trusting my gut feelings, and they've guided me toward decisions that align with my true self. I stopped letting past failures define me. Each failure became a lesson, and I used those lessons as stepping stones to reach greater heights.